Hey guys, so it is Halloween, maybe, I don't know. I feel weird doing holiday videos because if you're watching this in February, what the heck, right? Today we are making a mummy cake. I'm excited about this because I'm using my mold. Oh, this mold. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is bake your cake. Now I use 2 pecan butter cakes that I got from a box. But if you have like a good recipe and you have the time, then you should use that recipe. But I chose a brown cake because I wanted it to look like decayed flesh. Yeah, so I did all that good stuff, leveled off the top, blah 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 blah. Icing. You know the drill, man. You guys know it. When I was actually looking this cake up, I didn't actually look up cakes. I actually looked up actual mummies to see if I could recreate an actual mummy, and then I didn't like what actual mummies looked like. So I looked up pictures of cartoon mummies and was like, yeah, that's what I want to go for. And I actually took out a chunk where his teeth are supposed to be so that I could actually put in teeth, you know? The details, man, the details. Blacking out the eyes with black icing is kind of essential just because you want it to look like a hollowed out skull. And most of this cake is just fondant, just turning fondant into strips and then placing it onto the cake. I wanted these strips to look like papyrus. That's what you wrap mummies in. So I made this little comb out of toothpicks and cardboard and then glued it together with a hot glue gun so that when I ran over each strip, it actually looked like cloth. The hardest part for me was deciding where I wanted the strips to go. I thought it was just going to be like every strip was going to be like 1.5 inches and just on the cake, just constantly on the cake, but it's not like that. By the eyes and the nose, you kind of have to make the strips a little bit smaller and decide what part of the face you want to accentuate. I mean, all of these strips are going to be different because it all depends on how you want to put your mummy together. But once you've got like the face down, the back of the mummy is really easy because by then you don't give a crap. You kind of just put in stuff on. As long as the front looks good. Dude, nobody else cares about the back. I want this to look aged, so I'm gonna brush on a combination of black, brown, and white luster dust. Now, I didn't actually know about this until I read it on Wikipedia, which means it may not be true. But mummification can be intentional, like the mummies of Egypt, or accidental, like if somebody froze to death in ice and was just stuck in ice for the rest of his life. If a living thing is exposed to certain chemicals or a very, very low temperature, it actually preserves it. So it is a type of mummification. I remember when they pulled an entire mammoth out of a frozen lake because that low temperature preserved the entire thing, which means they could actually get DNA from it and then implant it into elephants and create mammoths. Isn't that cool? It's like Jurassic Park. It is Jurassic Park. Like, oh my gosh, Mammoth Park. Mammoth Park with real mammoths? Wait, does that exist? No, it doesn't exist yet. Well, that sucks. Now, all of his features I just made with fondant. So his eyes are just yellow fondant that I rolled into like a lemon shape. And I imprinted some teeth details onto these little pieces of white fondant. And then everything I just colored with luster dust to give it a more realistic look. And then, voila. This eye looks so realistic. I love it, man. Somebody wrote, I want somebody to look at me the way that John looks at cakes. I want somebody to look at me that way too. Now this YouTube video is only half of the story. Instagram and Facebook is like my diary, so I post pictures and updates as I'm working on the cake. So make sure you follow me so you can see what I'm currently working on. On Instagram, I named him Walter. Whenever I think of Walter, I think of Sleepless in Seattle. Do you guys remember Walter? He's the guy that got dumped. I also made a cartoonier mummy that you guys named Mimsy Lee. You guys can watch that video live on my Facebook. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you very soon. Bye.